In the days following the storm, Milo worked tirelessly. He used Ollie to bring supplies to the villagers whose homes had been destroyed. He delivered food, fresh water, and helped rebuild the docks. His actions showed everyone the value of hard work and generosity. People began to see that it wasn't the size of the boat that mattered, but the heart of the person who sailed it. Jenny was by Milo's side, offering help wherever she could. She too had been affected by the storm, but she stayed strong, supporting Milo in every way she could. Together, they gathered the villagers, organizing them into teams to repair homes and clear debris. "It's amazing how much you've done, Milo," Jenny said, her voice full of admiration. "You really are the heart of this village now." Milo shook his head, smiling. "I'm just doing what needs to be done, Jenny. We all have to help each other. This village is my home. I'll always be here to help." Jenny's eyes sparkled, and for a moment, Milo felt something more than friendship. But before he could say anything, a shout came from the docks. A group of fishermen needed help, and Milo quickly turned to answer the call. Liam had lost everything in the storm. His large boats were damaged beyond repair, and the docks were destroyed. He had no way to make money. Desperate, he turned to the one thing he had left, Ollie. He knew that Milo's boat had become the symbol of hope for the village, and he was determined to take it for himself. One evening, Liam approached Milo. He was different now, his usual arrogance replaced by a sense of desperation. "You think you can keep that little boat after everything that's happened?" Liam demanded. "That boat belongs to me now, Milo. You'll give it to me, or I'll make sure you never fish again. And don't think I won't do it." Milo stood firm, his fists clenched. "I won't give you Ollie. You've taken enough already. This boat is mine." Liam stepped closer, his voice low and dangerous. "Then you'll regret it. If you don't give it to me, I'll take something far more important." Milo's heart sank as Liam's meaning became clear. He was threatening his grandmother, Nani. Milo had never felt more afraid in his life, but he knew he couldn't back down now. Jenny and Kai were watching from a distance as Milo and Liam exchanged words. Jenny could see the tension in Milo's face, the fear hidden beneath his defiance. She knew that Liam was a powerful man, and Milo couldn't take him on alone. "We need to do something," Jenny said, turning to Kai. "I know," Kai said, his face grim. "But we can't fight him with violence. We need to unite the village." Jenny smiled. "I think I have an idea." That night, Jenny gathered the villagers. They came together, speaking in hushed voices as she outlined a plan. They would stand together, and they would protect Milo. it wasn't just about the boat. It was about the future of the village. They couldn't allow one man's greed to destroy everything they had worked for. The next day, the village stood united. They walked to Liam's house, ready to make a stand. The air was tense, but Milo stood tall with Jenny by his side. When they reached Liam's mansion, they didn't ask for permission. They demanded that Liam let go of Ollie and leave the village's business alone. The day after Jenny's plan, the villagers gathered outside Liam's grand house. The air was thick with tension, but there was also a quiet strength in the group. The men, women, and children of the village stood united, all with one goal: to defend Milo and his little boat, Ollie. Milo stood at the front, next to Jenny and Kai. His heart beat heavily in his chest, but he didn't let the fear show. He had seen enough of Liam's cruelty to know that this moment was inevitable. But this time, Milo wasn't alone. The villagers were standing with him. Liam stood in his grand doorway, his eyes narrowing as he watched the villagers assemble. His face twisted in anger as he stepped forward. "What is this?" he sneered. "You think you can stand against me? I control this village. Without my ships, none of you would eat. You owe me everything." Milo stepped forward, his voice steady. "We don't owe you anything, Liam. You've taken from this village for too long. We work hard to survive, but you want to keep taking. Not anymore." Liam laughed, a cold, humorless sound. "And what will you do, Milo? Do you really think the villagers will stand up to me? You're just a boy with a little boat." Milo's eyes locked with Liam's. "I'm not just a boy. And Ollie isn't just a boat. We've seen what you've done to this village. You've only helped yourself. Now, it's time for things to change." The villagers behind him nodded in agreement. They had seen enough. Liam's control over the village had only caused pain, and they were ready to take their lives back into their own hands. Kai spoke then, his deep voice carrying across the crowd. "Liam, it's over. The village stands with Milo. You can either leave us be, or we'll find another way. But this village will no longer bow to your greed." Liam's face turned red with rage, but even he could see that the villagers were no longer afraid. Slowly, reluctantly, he took a step back. "You may have won today," he spat, "but I will make sure you regret this." Milo stood tall, feeling the weight of the moment. "The only thing we regret is not standing up sooner." With that, Liam turned and stormed back into his mansion, leaving the villagers standing together, stronger than ever. With Liam temporarily out of the picture, the village breathed a collective sigh of relief. The atmosphere had changed. There was no more fear in the air. The villagers had taken a stand, and their voices had been heard. Kai, as the chief fisherman, was the one who made the final call. He stood in front of the gathered villagers, a proud smile on his face. "Milo," he said, turning to the young fisherman, "you've proven yourself to be not only a brave man, but a true asset to this village. Your boat, Ollie, has helped us more than we ever expected. From this day forward, you'll fish freely, without fear of anyone taking what you've worked for. The village stands behind you." Milo's heart swelled with pride. He had worked so hard for this moment, and it was finally here. But it wasn't just about the boat anymore. It was about something bigger: the respect of his village, the trust of his friends, and the courage to stand up for what was right. The villagers cheered, and Milo felt his eyes water slightly. He had dreamed of this moment for so long, and now it was real. But there was still one thing left to do. He needed to make sure that Ollie would always be his, no matter what. Kai turned to the group of villagers. "We all agree then, don't we? From this day on, Ollie is Milo's, and he can fish the sea without fear of any man taking it from him." A resounding cheer came from the villagers, and Milo felt the weight of the moment settle in his chest. This was real. This was his victory, and it was the village's too. With Milo now free to fish without fear of Liam's greed, life in the village began to return to a new sense of normalcy. Milo worked hard, bringing in fish to feed the people, and Ollie became a beloved symbol of the village's resilience. People would stop by the docks just to see the little boat that had helped them survive. Milo's friendship with Jenny grew stronger each day. They spent more time together, working side by side, talking about their hopes for the future. Slowly, that friendship began to turn into something more. One evening, after a long day of fishing, Milo and Jenny sat by the edge of the water, watching the sun set behind the waves. The sky turned orange and pink, and the air was warm. "I've been thinking, Jenny," Milo said softly. "You've been there for me through everything. You've helped me when I needed it the most. I can't imagine my life without you." Jenny smiled, her eyes full of warmth. "I feel the same, Milo. You've done more for this village than anyone could ever expect, and you've never asked for anything in return. I admire you for that." Milo took her hand, his heart racing. "Jenny, will you marry me? I want to spend my life with you, building something together. We can take care of each other, and we can help this village grow stronger." Jenny's eyes sparkled with tears, and she nodded without hesitation. "Yes, Milo, I want that too. We've both been through so much, and I can't imagine a future without you." The villagers, who had been watching from a distance, cheered and clapped. Milo and Jenny smiled at each other, their hearts full of love and hope for the future. Milo and Jenny were married in a simple ceremony by the sea, with the entire village in attendance. It was a day of celebration, a day of love and unity. The village had come together to protect one of their own, and now they were celebrating a new beginning. As time passed, Milo continued to fish with Ollie, his small boat now a symbol of the village's strength. The villagers had learned that it wasn't about the size of a boat or the wealth of the man who owned it. It was about heart, hard work, and unity. Milo and Jenny worked together to help the village thrive. They built new docks, planted gardens, and helped the fishermen catch fish. Milo's story of perseverance and courage spread throughout the village, inspiring the next generation to follow their dreams, no matter how impossible they might seem. Milo and Jenny's love grew stronger with each passing year. They had children who grew up learning the ways of the sea. Milo's dream had come true, and it was more than he could have ever imagined. He had his family, his boat, and a village that stood united, all because of the courage to fight for what was right. And so, the village of Milo and Jenny became known as a place where hard work and unity triumphed over greed and selfishness. It was a place where the sea, though unpredictable, was respected, and where the people understood that together they could face any challenge the world threw at them